All right, what do you have here, Doug?
Well, this is my coffee. This is decaf, raw, unroasted coffee beans.
And it's green. I mean, it's not green.
It's not real green. It's kind of brown, but anyway. And this used to be a 10-pound bag, and it's now down to about a couple of pounds there. And this is a colander.
All right. And how much coffee do you use? Go ahead and put in your coffee.
My stirrer. All right. And I use 1 1/3 cups of coffee. This is a 2/3 measure. So there's 2/3. And 2/3, which equals about half a pound of raw coffee. Now this will expand a little bit in volume as it roasts, although I don't know if the weight changes as it roasts. I imagine it does, but I'm not sure.
Now here we are out in the garage, and you've got your burner set up.
This is my Ozark Trail camp stove, propane attached to it, and fire this thing up.
How high do you turn that up?
Well, I don't know, about halfway. This is my stainless steel wok. Put that right over the center of the flame, or center of the flame right under the pot, I guess.
Do you heat the pan up before
Yes.
you put the coffee in it?
Yes, probably about 5 minutes to heat the pan.
5 minutes to heat the pan? Well, I thought this whole process must take a while.
Not too long. The roasting only takes about 7 to 9 minutes.
All right, we'll come
We'll
back.
be back.
So, Doug, how do you know when it's hot enough?
Well, I put my hand pretty close to the bottom. That's inch and a half away from the bottom. And if my hand starts to get hot pretty quickly, then I think it's hot enough.
Well, you're holding it there pretty long.
Well,
so
but it's starting to get
hot.
uncomfortably hot now. So, all right, now we just put the coffee in and stir until it starts to cook. And I just keep it, stir it constantly. And I just vary directions depending on how my arm feels. There's no real technique to it. I do try to keep pushing it through on the center so nothing sits on the flat part of the wok for too long, because that's where most of the heat is. You do need to keep it moving. And it's going to take about probably, I'd say, 6 to 6.5 minutes. And then I'll turn the flame off for another minute or so.
Do you see any changes in the process? How does it just slowly get darker?
What's happening, in fact it's happening now, the beans are starting to change color here. They're getting a little bit paler right now. They will start to get yellow fairly soon. We've been going for probably about a minute at this point. You can see you're starting to get some color, maybe. You can see that. Some of them are starting yellow. And what I'm going for, where I go, is pretty dark, almost black, and shiny.
So you're making espresso.
Espresso, yeah. You can, maybe if you can see, we're getting some yellowing. Most of the beans are starting to get yellow now. They've all changed color, lightened up quite a bit.
They have lightened up.
Mm-hmm. They actually go through kind of a green stage.
I'd always heard this was a smoky process, but I don't see any smoke.
It will be. Give it a chance. I think what happens in this method, I think the chaff just kind of burns off a lot of it, and that's where a lot of the smoke comes from, probably, but also the oils in the beans. Now you can see they're almost all yellowed now, going towards brown, some of them. And I don't know, I haven't really been timing, so we're probably getting close to 3 minutes maybe.
3 minutes right now.
Are you timing it?
Yeah, there's a little timer on the
okay.
recorder.
Well, there you go. Cool. All right.
I see some smoke.
There, just had a first pop there.
Yeah, now it starts
Now you can
This
see.
is what they call first crack,
Right.
I think, when it first starts.
Yeah. Now you're getting some smoke, and you can see they're all yellowed and going towards brown. Some of them are getting fairly dark now. Now turn the heat down just a hair.
Not very well. See, some of them are starting to have some real dark spots
Yeah.
on them.
They usually even out pretty well. Now it's getting pretty smoky now.
Doesn't smell bad though, but we're out here in the garage.
Right. Yes. Do this outside. Definitely.
You wouldn't want to.
Not do this in your kitchen unless you've got one heck of an exhaust fan. This will set off every smoke alarm in your house.
So some of the beans now look quite black, at least on edges. But
Now we're getting some popping going. You can hear that or not.
you should just stop stirring just for a second. All right. Listen to that pop.
You really don't want to stop. You can avoid it. And I find stirring a whole lot easier than shaking it. That's a two-handed process. You get to keep the lid on.
See, we're getting more smoke now.
Yeah. The oils are starting to come out now and starting to burn off. And these are decaffeinated beans, so I don't know if there's just less chaff on them to begin with, or if it's just burning off. But that never seems to be an issue. So, what's our time?
Really smoking now. We're about 5 minutes,
Okay,
and 30 seconds.
That's about right.
Back up so we can see all that
Yeah.
smoke come out.
Yeah. They're really popping now. Hear that? We're getting there. It goes pretty fast. You probably could stop here, I guess, if you wanted a lighter roast.
I think this is about the level, at least the lighter ones are about the level you'd call full city roast.
Yeah. What's our time? About 6.5 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. That's about typical. I'm going to go like 7.
Getting a lot of smoke now.
Yeah. That happens fast.
Yes, now I would say a lot of smoke is being caused by the oils coming out.
Yeah. Turn the flame off and keep stirring it for about another minute. We'll lose some beans, they'll jump out of the pan because they've gotten a lot lighter. Got more volume. See that stiffness around the side, that's just from the oil. I think we are probably good to go there. All that done. Now I just put them into this